He swiftly got into his car, which was parked close to the bush, and started making calls. Before Obi could leave the scene, some burly men appeared out of nowhere. They grabbed him, collected his phone, and started beating him mercilessly. Obi tried to defend himself, but he was no match for the men. They beat him so severely that he fainted, his body limp and lifeless. The men dragged Obi's unconscious body and put him inside the trunk of their car. They drove off into the night, leaving behind a trail of mystery and fear. Obi's phone lay broken on the ground, his evidence lost forever. The next morning, Obi's parents woke up to an empty room. They wondered where their son had slept and why he wasn't home yet. They tried calling his phone, but it was switched off. As the days passed, their worry turned to panic. They visited the local police station, reporting Obi's disappearance. The police officers listened, their expressions skeptical. "Isn't he the same boy who impregnated that mad woman?" one of them said, raising an eyebrow. "Maybe he has run away because of shame," another officer added, his tone dripping with doubt. Obi's mother cried, begging the police to help her find her son. She explained that Obi was a good boy, kind and gentle, and that he wouldn't just disappear without a reason. The police promised to try, but their words seemed hollow. As the days turned into weeks, the neighborhood buzzed with gossip and speculation about Obi's disappearance. "He ran away because of shame," some said. "He's a useless boy, impregnating C.A.S.T and running away," others added, their voices filled with malice. But little did they know, Obi was indeed captive, tied up in a small, stinking room in Alhaji's house. The room was damp and dark, with no window to let in the sunlight. Obi's body ached from the beating, and his spirit was crushed. Alhaji would occasionally visit him, taunting him about the pictures he had taken. "You think you can expose me?" Alhaji would sneer. "You think you can ruin my reputation?" Obi would plead for mercy, but Alhaji's expression would remain cold and unyielding. Obi realized that Alhaji was hiding something big, and he was determined to get to the bottom of it. As the days passed, Obi's determination grew. He knew he had to escape and expose Alhaji's secrets. But how? He was trapped, with no way out. Obi's thoughts drifted to C.A.S.T and the baby. Was the child Alhaji's? And what would happen to them if he didn't make it out alive? Obi's resolve hardened. He would escape, no matter what it took. He would clear his name, expose Alhaji's secrets, and make sure C.A.S.T and her child were taken care of. But for now, Obi remained captive, waiting for his chance to break free. As the days turned into weeks, Obi's hopes of escape began to dwindle. He was fed meager rations, and his body began to weaken. Alhaji's visits became more frequent, and his taunts more vicious. One day, Obi heard footsteps outside his room. Alhaji's voice was heard, arguing with someone. Obi listened closely and realized that Alhaji was talking to one of his associates. "We can't keep him here forever," the associate said. "What if he talks?" "He won't talk," Alhaji replied. "He's just a foolish boy who got in over his head." Obi's determination grew. He knew he had to escape and expose Alhaji's secrets. But how? As he waited for an opportunity, Obi's thoughts drifted to his parents. They must be worried sick about him. He wondered if they were still looking for him or if they had given up hope. Meanwhile, Obi's parents were indeed searching for him. They had visited the police station multiple times, but the officers seemed uninterested in helping them. They had also asked around the neighborhood, but no one seemed to know anything about Obi's disappearance. Obi's mother was beside herself with worry. She would often cry herself to sleep, thinking about her son's fate. Obi's father tried to stay strong, but he too was worried. He knew his son was a good boy, and he couldn't understand why he would disappear without a word. As the weeks turned into months, Obi's parents' hopes began to dwindle. They had almost given up hope of ever seeing their son again. But Obi's mother refused to give up. She would often visit the police station, begging them to do more to find her son. One day, Obi's mother received a call from an unknown number. "Do you want to see your son again?" a voice asked. Obi's mother's heart skipped a beat as she listened to the voice. Yes, please, she begged. Tell me where my son is, the voice on the other end laughed. You never see him again, it said. He's in a place where he'll never be found. Obi's mother's world came crashing down. She collapsed to the ground, crying uncontrollably. Obi's father tried to comfort her, but he too was devastated. As the months passed, Obi's parents' lives were filled with sadness and despair. They had lost their son, and they didn't know if they would ever see him again. But Obi was still alive. He was determined to escape and expose Alhaji's secrets. He waited for the perfect moment to make his move. One day,